Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It has been about 3.5 years since I got my Ninja 650 way back in mid 2018. A lot has changed since then. Now my wife joins me as a pillion sometimes. So it was no longer a good choice, mainly due to the bad quality of roads in Bangalore. The underbelly exhaust would just scrape at almost every potline speed breaker out there. After around 6 months of thinking about an upgrade, I finally decided to let this bike go and look at something fun and practical at the same time. Before we dive into my next options, let's talk about how the past few years have been. So when I shifted from a 200 to 650, it was a very different game. Only once I started riding the Ninja almost everywhere, I started to love it rather than to get afraid. In the beginning, it was tough to handle in traffic and occasionally would just sprint a little bit more than I expected. It was not long before we fell in love with each other and our journey to distant places started. In the first year, I clocked around 11,500 kilometers and life was too much fun back then. Then the worst thing happened for a rider. Early 2020, COVID lockdown started and how the next 2 years went by, everyone knows. Meanwhile, in 2021, I got married, did a Spiti road trip from Bangalore in my Polo TDI and came back to the Silicon Valley back in December. In Feb 2022, I listed it and in March it got sold after around 6 weeks of some effort. Now I had to start looking at what options are there. I always loved the Ducatis in particular, so I thought let's try a MultiStrada 950S. So the following weekend, I visited VST Ducati and had a look at it. It somehow just felt right and I decided to take a test ride. I did not carry any GoPro that day, so don't have a recording of it. A person from the dealership led the way on Multi V4 and the next 15 minutes were one of the best riding moments till date. I was sold on it, but unluckily got to know that it's not available anymore. The new MultiStrada V2 was replacing it and would be released in India in a few months. The next one was Tiger 900. So I tried to look for the showroom as per Google Maps, but there was some renovation going on and I couldn't just figure out where it is. The evening traffic had picked up and it was time to head back home. The next weekend I visited Triumph dealership and it was not really a good experience. Staff had no knowledge regarding the models available and there was just one bike, the Rally Pro version. When I asked for a test ride, they simply refused and asked me to book a test ride at a later date. The bike was just right there. This felt very bad. I thought Ducati guys would treat me like this. but they were very professional and made me feel special. On the other hand, experience at Triumph was truly disappointing. Now I was in a tough spot. Ducati was not available and Triumph experience reduced my chances of going with the Tiger. I had some time to kill, so I just started to search the web. I saw Honda Big Wing top line nearby. At this point, I was just aware of the old Africa Twin 2016 to 19 model, I think. It felt old and not something I wanted as a brand new bike. Then I thought there's nothing wrong with taking a test ride. So I left my car parked there and just walked around 800 meters to the showroom. As soon as I entered, I saw a 2021 tricolor Africa Twin and a few videos I saw on YouTube a year back flashed in front of my eyes. I was interested now and asked for a test ride. My request was approved. Me and my wife took it for a short spin and I did not really like it at all. The DCT felt too bad and would shift too fast at around 2000 RPM. I did not feel comfortable and told the Honda representative if I could try a manual version. Unluckily, they did not have a manual test ride vehicle. So again, I was stuck without a choice. I really loved the looks of this Africa Twin. The sound was nice and the weight was well balanced. But DCT, I was just concerned about it and I didn't think I could live with it. Luckily, I met a very nice person, Gerald. He understood my concern and convinced me to go for a longer test ride on any weekday and try out different modes, and if I still didn't like it, we could go ahead with the manual version. I agreed, as the new model had a lot of features that ticked my checklist: tubeless tires, adjustable windscreen, and something I never expected in a bike, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Soon, I was back home, a bit happier than before. So now, the thing was like, am I really an adventure bike guy? I never had even tried a X-Pulse or a Himalayan before, so it was a tough decision for me. To figure this thing out, I booked an adventure riding beginner course, Big Rock Dirt Park, Kolar. That is the topic for the next video. I will be sharing my experience, how I felt, and the answer. Does adventure bike really suit my requirement? And is it good enough to keep me happy? So thanks for watching the video till the end. If you really like it and find my story interesting till now, please follow the channel and see you soon at Big Rock.